Welcome to Creamer Media's Resources Watch, a weekly video roundup of the events and people making and shaping the news in the mining industry. This week, Pan-African strategy yields strong interim results. Bushveld sees battery storage potential beyond EVs, and hydrogen fuel cell mining set to cut Amplats greenhouse gas emissions. Dual-listed Pan-African Resources achieved improved operational, financial and safety results for the 6 months ended December 31st, owing to its business strategy of delivering safe, sustainable and high-margin gold production.
From a financial perspective, the group profit after tax increased by 125%. EBITDA has demonstrated a very significant increase, more than 80%. Earnings per share in dollar terms more than doubled. Group net debt decreased. And at the same time, we reinstated and reinitiated our dividends. So I guess the one sort of red point on the slide is the all-in sustaining costs that increased. I think from an EBITDA, adjusted EBITDA generation perspective, it's a good performance. All of our operations contributed positive cash flows, even scratching around on 24 level at the Evander underground. This is why our expectations for H-shaft pillar are justified, we believe.
While the energy transition is gaining a lot of traction, integrated primary vanadium producer Bushveld Minerals laments that the battery storage narrative is still dominated by electric vehicles.
There is a unique opportunity, not just for Bushveld Minerals. There's a unique opportunity, we think, for South Africa and for the continent. South Africa hosts some of the world's largest high-grade resources in several of the key commodities in battery metal space. We're talking vanadium, we're talking nickel, we're talking copper, we're talking PGMs, manganese, right? So the resource base is there, large, high grade, great quality. What South Africa also has is primary processing infrastructure, which is typically very expensive to build, and we're talking billions of dollars worth of infrastructure here. Once you've got that primary infrastructure, to beneficiate what comes out of that further into battery-grade materials is actually quite low in terms of capital intensity. I mentioned our electrolyte plant will cost only about $10 million, and yet will supply 200 megawatt hours worth of electrolyte. The technical expertise, in terms of metallurgical expertise, South Africa has a long history and much depth in terms of that. And then finally, there is a huge market that's developing here. We have said, and we say quite a lot, that we see South Africa emerging as one of the top 5 energy storage markets in the world. Eskom just announced last year that it's going to be looking to procure 1,400 megawatt hours of battery energy storage. The World Bank has committed $1 billion with a view to leverage that up to $5 billion with a target to secure 17,500 megawatt hours of battery storage for low to middle income countries. Our own integrated resource plan has got an allocation of 2,000 megawatts of energy storage. It's got bold commitments to renewable, which will come with demand for energy storage. Its peaking generation allocation of 9,000 megawatts is a space that batteries can also play.
The introduction of hydrogen fuel cell mining in response to climate change is poised to cut the greenhouse gas emissions of Platinum Group Metals mining company, Anglo American Platinum, by 30%.
In response to the global challenge of climate change, we continue to find improvements in both our energy use intensities and our emission reductions. We have reduced our energy intensity by 10% since 2016. We've reduced our greenhouse gas emissions by 7% over the same period. And we've now set ourselves 2030 targets to improve energy efficiencies and to reduce absolute greenhouse gas emissions by 30%, as I mentioned, by 2030. And that's off a 2016 baseline. A large enabler of this significant reduction is the introduction of hydrogen fuel cell mining trucks. These trucks will utilize green hydrogen generated from solar PV farms and will have zero carbon emissions.
For mining news as it breaks, stay logged on to miningweekly.com and register for our free daily newsletter.